asses out of here. Won't you take our black asses out of here? Won't you come save us, catch up, and kill all these crackers? Won't you take our black asses out of here? Save this motherfucker now. Take our black asses out of here. You a bitch, nigga.
Okay.
It was funny. Aaron would write these songs and then get somebody else to perform, and they could add their stuff to it. But yeah, dude's talented.
Not them harmonizing.
That's how we doing it.
Yeah,
What?
and it's
Okay, this is the song that I'm curious about. It sounds like a woman's vent to her girlfriend. It ain't got no structure, no rhyme or reason.
you've seen this.
You singing about
The
Diddy?
fuck going on?
No.
Speaking about music, I guess. Is that how we're starting the
Yeah,
episode?
why not?
Shit. All
Yeah.
right. Man, okay, so
Well, hold on.
welcome
to
back
the Good Negroes.
to the Good Negroes, our previous conversation that
Yeah.
Dre and I had, and he just could not believe all the ado around Diddy, like all the shit that was happening around Diddy, and he just like the man in me, or the Howard Bison in me, or the black man in me can't fathom. I just can't. My heart can't take that any of this was
That's not
true.
what I said.
That's kind of what happened. I'm like verbatim.
Well,
That's a pretty good impression.
all I need is the glasses.
Didn't sound like me.
And a little bit
no,
of
but I was saying I think I didn't want to know, so that's why I hadn't like watched the documentaries.
Oh, but
or knew
you
of
did
all
by
that.
the time we
we
made
did.
you.
Yeah. But I was saying before that,
Keep a
I
good woman
felt
in
like
your
I
life.
didn't want to know because I did revere the man in some way and respect. I know, not anymore. Not anymore.
Revere strong, right? Ain't that strong as
Yeah.
fuck?
Hey, he went to Howard.
He was
The
his
dude's done a
savior.
lot. Well, it's
The
not
next
easy.
coming.
Well, I think that's a bit much.
Your musical savior.
Bison. But yeah, after the HBO
Nigga
documentary.
dropped out. He killed niggas and he dropped out.
You're an alumni if you just go there for a couple semesters.
So anyway, let's bring it back full circle. So we talked about the Sean Diddy Combs piece, and then the troll of all trolls. If you stay petty, you ain't got to get petty. The troll of all trolls, 50 Cent, who has created a career off of trolling people, but has never really liked Diddy, puts out this documentary. Lord, I didn't know what I was getting into. Like, I kind of had an idea that it was going to talk about the trial, but then it just went way beyond that.
It was a hit piece.
Straight bullet. And,
Listen, it was a hit piece because, the HBO documentary was first, right? So that stuck kind of to the principles of documentaries. But this one was an assault on Diddy now. A lot of it's true. Diddy,
he got into
deserves
shit,
it.
man.
Yeah, he got into some shit. But it was
when
funny.
you chronologize it,
which is a word that we found out in the break.
Because as a foreigner, I mastered the English language more than natives sometimes.
Well, I just think you may have got lucky that was a real word.
No,
because
pimpin'.
we didn't think it was.
I reads. Okay, I read.
Okay, well.
Anyway, so when you chronologize, when you lay everything out and timeline it out for you, is that better?
Yeah,
is that better for you?
Well, I understand it easier. Mm-hmm.
Then bisons. Then you
there's
kind
no
of
S. There's no S in bison. So we're back to why I didn't think chronologize was right. Okay.
Dumb bisons and shit. So anyway, so when you lay it out and you kind of just follow the trajectory of his career and the assault and the cases and the issues that just followed him around, like, it starts to paint a different picture. Because when you're living your life and stuff just comes up here and there, bloop, 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 right? And then there's a moment of silence. All this stuff is still going on for him, but we're not hearing about it. And then bloop, another incident. Like, it seems so much more widespread than it is. But this dude literally was bugging more than not.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think the HBO documentary was pretty clear. It focused a little more on the violence. This brought up some more things that were a little more speculative in nature that could be true.
But this actually told like the whole life story of him, right? Like it talked about how he came up. It talked about how he got into the music industry. It talked about how they, I don't want to say groomed him because that's giving a different, right?
No.
It talked about how they artists developed him, right?
Yes.
But
that's what I'm saying. I think that's why I call it a hit piece, because some of that stuff it's true, but it could be speculative too, right? Like,
I mean, it was people's accounts. So, I mean,
it was
given that.
people's accounts after the dude was put in jail. So again, I'm not debating those things happen. Don't get me wrong.
We don't
It
know.
was just the as a storyteller, the way it was told, it was leading you as opposed to
it definitely, like, listen.
as opposed to you watching something and making your own opinion. This walked you down a road of like, man, fuck that nigga, man.
But the second you saw it's 50 Cent's face on it, you already knew what was happening.
Yeah.
Because there has been a long-standing beef. Okay, so apparently 50 and Diddy had crossed paths in the 90s, and, you know, they were just cordial or whatever.
Right.
They'd worked together on a couple of things. And then there was this diss track, right? And if you've learned anything about this documentary, he don't do dissing. Like, he does not do disrespect. He does not forget when he has been disrespected, and he needs to be held to high esteem wherever he goes, right? So there was this diss track by 50 Cent.
Right.
Then he was starting to lose his artists left and right. Mace wanted to leave, which was his highest paying artist, grossing artist, after, Biggie and Pac were gunned down. Biggie, that was it, right? There was the vodka wars. There's,
Wait, did 50 ever have his own vodka though? I don't think so.
Diddy was dealing with Ciroc, and 50 had a partnership with Effin Vodka.
Who?
EF.
That's why. This is why. Yeah. Oh, okay, I remember that little janky
You do
brand.
remember. But Ciroc was not a great vodka brand. Like, it was good marketing, and everybody was like, ooh, I need that shit. But it was not good vodka. And it's so, I mean, part of it is almost genius because, like, it's so catered to
Black people.
Negroes,
No, listen.
right? Because
I've been to
it had a pineapple flavor.
Niggas love
it
fruit
had
flavors.
a raspberry flavor.
Once again.
It had I don't know, whatever else. I feel like it should have had a Moscato flavor because that's what black people love, and maybe a Kool-Aid flavor.
Okay.
Look, I know.
Whoa.
Easy.
I know, right? But like, it was that in your face where it's like, okay, black people, come get
listen,
this vodka.
there is
And I
a
was like, there
chicken
was
spot that I was
nothing
at
good about it.
that had a drink that said all the Cirocs were in it. And at the end of the day, do you really want all the different Cirocs in one drink?
God, that's like a Long Island iced tea.
It's like yes. Yeah.
In various flavors. That's got to taste like crap.
Once again, the Wall Street Journal had an article. Black people disproportionately like fruit flavors. So.
And that's why I say it's almost ingenious, but like to some extent almost insulting. And black people ate that shit up. Black people ate it up, and so I can see where.
This is why.
Yeah.
It was during the Puff Daddy highest years. Because one of the things about that documentary too, when you chronologize things, you forget the original chronology of things. So in my mind, after
he liked my word.
Well, it works. It does. It works.
Ray, you running with it.
So after
Chronologically speaking.
right, when chronologically speaking, after the sort of bad boy days with Total and all those different groups, even after Biggie died,
112.
I forgot that his career actually exploded after that. Like, his solo career was actually bigger than those periods. And like, no, but that movie had groups like his group, Dirty Money.
Dirty Money.
I never even heard of Dirty Money.
Like that.
Never heard of them in my life.
I don't remember them like that, and they certainly don't get.
Man, come on, man.
You watched Dirty Money? You heard of that?
Man, Last Train to Paris.
What?
Last Train to Paris.
Yeah, sure.
That's
What?
that Dirty Money.
Okay.
Was it
How'd
a big song?
Yeah, man. They got a.
See, and that's the thing. He
This
was
is what I'm
able to
saying.
insert big in all the things.
Question. Keisha Cole on it. I said I couldn't get an answer, baby.
You know what, dude? I was listening to real ignorant rap at that time period. I was listening to probably, Hustler and
You
Jacka.
make my love come down. That's that Dirty Money.
That sounds
That
terrible.
sounds like it was really stolen and
That was
jacked.
terrible,
Ripped.
bro.
Man, that shit go hard.
That was a song?
That's that Dirty Money.
Look, it looked like it was obviously a big thing.
Well, we can't listen
Yeah.
to it anymore.
My God.
We got to cancel Diddy?
It becomes difficult.
I mean, his
because-
extensions are a little harder, but his shit, yeah.
I'm going to tell you what's easy to cancel. Fucking Dirty Money. Danity Kane.
We know who you not canceling.
We're going to cancel,
This is the episode, though.
who was that other group?
Aura.
Day something.
Day 26.
They never even heard any of their songs. But I didn't even watch,
just
I
got
didn't
an easy
realize
route.
how big Making the Band was.
Okay, but you're jumping way ahead of the thing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're just going way too deep.
But-
we're still talking about like the 50 and the P Diddy back and forth.
Okay.
So there was an issue. First of all, The thing that always gets brought up is the fact that Diddy apparently offered to take him shopping, and he felt like a little bitch. He's like, why? That's something you say to females. Why would you want to take me shopping? That was one. Two, Puffy has this thing about trying to snatch other people's women, right? And this is a consistent thing that you see throughout this documentary, which is wild to me, right? And I guess Diddy, 50 Cent was not immune to that.
Was that in later years, or was that?
She ended up, I don't know exactly when that was.
That was interesting that he didn't put that in the documentary.
2011.
Though. He put everybody else's chick that got taken.
Right, and I was thinking that. I was like, that was 2011, 2012 is when that was with...
That's what I mean by it was kind of a hit piece. You know what I mean? It just walked you down a road of what was happening. But coming back to 50, 50's built his career off trolling. Like, he's been a master of media.
Ja Rule bought out the first, what was it?
Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, Fat Joe.
6 rows of the concert so nobody could cheer on. Man, I mean, that's some grade A petty right there.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing to me. So for me personally, 50 and P. Diddy are the opposite end of the same coin. So to be bold enough to film your shit right before you go to prison, feeling like you're going to have a documentary on your hands that is going to, after you've been recused or all the things, and this is your comeback story, right, or whatever, and it backfired that bad on you that somehow 50 Cent got his hands on your own words and how you're talking to your lawyers, your marketing team, etc., your family.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
But they are the same. They are opportunists, the same end of the opposite end of the same coin. They both saw an opportunity and they were going to capitalize on it one way or the other.
Yeah.
One is going to be like, ha, 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 smug in your face. They didn't catch me, but I'm going to make money off of this, which seems to be also potentially a common theme.
And Puffy?
And no, that was Puffy.
Yeah.
And 50 is like, well, look.
50 slapped that down.
He man.
He stopped that. But I wonder if he was able to get that footage. This is my speculation, because Puffy wasn't paying
Ran
people.
Out of money. Yeah,
and
they locked up his
all
funds.
of a sudden, he was like, "Hey, dude, well, here's X million. Give it to me." And he got it, because you're right, they can't use that. I was shocked at the amount of drugs that, like, if I was going to be going to court, I would not be on film smoking weed. Like, I've had young family members I've seen smoking weed when they were in college, and I'm like, dude, take that fucking shit down off the internet, dude. He's like, you don't see the, all that time when they were smoking, that was weed.
I don't know that I even realized.
Nobody smokes a cigar like this. I'm sure that was bad weed smoking etiquette, but they were smoking weed. And then when he got arrested at the end, did you see all the drugs they found in his hotel room when the dude was about to go to court? Mm-hmm. This was the beginning of his court proceedings.
So help me understand this, because by his lawyer's recommendation, he flew into New York to turn himself in.
Right.
So he's in New York. In the opening scene, you see, I don't know, cops on the opposite rooftop surveilling him. Right. So it appears, right? And he's very adamant about, get that footage. So they're watching him. He's still parading through the city for some days. Is there an agreement that at this day and time he turns himself in? Like, how does that work? And then if that is the case, why do you have all these drugs on you and you're not thinking to get rid of it before you go to jail? Because why?
Drugs, and the amount of baby oil was unbelievable. Like, I don't know, maybe dudes into emollients, another word, but
spell it.
EMOLIANCE, and
You said CE? TS.
No, I was saying the act of being emollient.
Clock, whatever.
That could be wrong, but I said it with confidence. And I mean, a lot of the stuff I didn't understand. Like, I don't have kids, right? My dad would never freely smoke weed with me like that. My dad, just kicking it, cocaine.
So the interesting thing, though, about this documentary, too, was that it talked about the rearing of him. Like, where did he come from, right? And so his mindset is not ours. It's definitely not yours. It's not that of your dad. Like, his dad, albeit gone, was some kind of a hustler, pimp. I don't know what it was, but he had respect in the streets. His mom was about it. They were different. And he looked up to pimps and gangsters and modeled himself albeit from a private school, right? Modeled himself after those behaviors. So,
I
according
don't know.
to said
I'm
documentary,
one of those people that just say, I don't know how much of that's true or how much of that is embellished, right? Because there's lots of people that grew up watching Superfly and their dad might have been this or that. So I don't know, like what the way they showed his mom raised him. Like my mom and them had parties. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't baby oiling myself down with
it's not
drugs
that they
and
have
doing
parties.
pink cocaine.
I think it's the kind of parties that they had.
I mean, hey.
And the caliber, the models, and with the NBA
Don't
players.
never
and
underestimate Sylvester Brooks' parties.
Don't underestimate
Don't never
your mom.
underestimate.
Okay.
Well, it was my dad, but
your dad. All right.
yeah, okay. There weren't any Golden State Warriors at our parties that I knew of. There were dignitaries, but yeah. I mean, those are the things I just don't know. But I do know money and power corrupts.
But he didn't even have money at that point. That's the thing. Like, he did not have any money. He was working under.
He got it quick,
he
though.
has tenacity, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, for him to just hound, who was it, Heavy D,
Andre
to get
Harrell.
to Andre Harrell,
Yeah.
like every day. Like, he had the tenacity. Worked his way up the ranks or whatever. But then his head started getting too big, man.
Correct.
He got a little bit too big for his britches.
And he was always violent because I don't think the 50 documentary, it does it. The HBO documentary did a better job of just showing this series of violence escalating too, right?
Like,
Because
like to other people,
other people.
like when the lady from the
lady from Source magazine
had to go run and hide for
Right.
her safety. Yeah, but so my understanding is, as I was watching this, somebody was telling me the documentary that there's actually a guy that lives in the woods and he's off the grid, so that because Diddy is as powerful as he is.
I mean, I
And
wouldn't
there
be
was
shocked.
a dude shot in the woods, so I'm kind of like, is that him? Is that
Well, and then this is like, I know dudes that started off, like, for lack of a better term, square dudes
You can say, hey, Meta.
that. So I've seen.
you messing up the shit over
Hey,
here?
man.
His ears talking because you
Yeah, I
sent a
was like-
video.
Oh, Jason Bourne.
Hey, Meta, pause notifications for 8 hours.
Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
Announcements paused for 8 hours.
But I knew dudes in the street that were regular ass dudes, middle class cats. I hate the term squares, but squares that started living that street life and starting to hang with some street cats. And then even if they were in entertainment, they start becoming those people. So a lot of times people be like, oh man, that nigga was a square. He said, well, 15, 20 years later, he's not the square that he was 15 years ago.
Jeff Bezos?
I mean, I don't know if Jeff Bezos is shooting rivals.
I mean, not like that, but you can clearly see a transition from
Right.
where he started to where he is now.
Correct. Or even Elon Musk or, Peter Thiel. So people change over time as the money comes. But the difference with Puff is that he was taking street culture to the corporate world. And that's also been part of the downfall. Because he was doing things that, like even the documentary said, doing those things, eventually you're going to get caught. And even the parts where like
He
not
didn't get
paying
convicted
people.
for any of that stuff, right?
I said this in our first episode that was released. I said,
Yeah, they're not going to get him for any of that stuff, but they still found a way to lock him up. But
I said he may get off. He may get off of all those serious like RICO type stuff. And you see, they just got him for transporting prostitutes across state lines.
they had to get him for something apparently.
Yeah.
But as you were alluding to, you were about to say that he wasn't paying any of his artists,
And that's
so
how you.
he's sitting on a pile of gold now,
Right.
and everybody else is like
But that's how you get people.
destitute.
That's how people tell on you, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
trust
'cause
me,
nobody
if
likes your
everybody was
ass.
running around with millions of dollars, people stay quiet. And a lot of people
But
stayed quiet because
imagine
they
that.
were getting paid.
Imagine that if everybody would have had wealth, like how all of us would have come up and been, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to your greedy ass. They even said it in the documentary. They said that Andre Harrell had a specific kind of methodology in contracts or whatever, and he was taking artists for their money too, right?
That
But
is
then
music, though.
Diddy had to go one up that,
Right.
and made it even worse, as if that wasn't enough, right?
The music industry is janky like that, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be. It's funny because it said in the documentary that Suge Knight was villainized, Pac was villainized, and they really weren't They really weren't the problem. It was Diddy more so, because Suge did business the right way. He shared the wealth and shared, you know what I'm saying, with
Right.
his artists. Pac, he was right to be as paranoid as
But
he
I will
was,
say
it
this though,
seems.
because when I worked at DreamWorks one time, Gerald Busby was the head of music, so they had all the finance people there. And one day he just said, "Listen, we're gonna have all these artists, but we only need 2 or 3 to blow up. So if one artist blows up, it can pay for this record company for years." And so I know in the music business, if
It's a
you're
gamble.
well, if you're big, you make a lot of money. If you're not big, you will be shocked how little you could potentially. So people that we know
So what's the
as
definition of
famous,
big? So what's the
like,
definition
probably-
of big? Like 112
It could be-
was on a trajectory.
right?
Right? Total was on a trajectory. Big was on a trajectory.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm sure he was doing extras. There's mechanisms to take more money from artists. I'm sure some
Absolutely. Well, that's why,
labels
again,
are
they were
more
saying
fair
he's
than
in the
others.
video, right? So now
Yeah.
you got to pay him because he was in the
Yep.
video, but ain't nobody asked you to be in the video,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
It's wild if you really think about like how much presence he commanded throughout this whole thing. Like it really was
Suge was right.
P. Diddy first.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like all the things P. Diddy, and you can kind of dance in the background now.
Well, even
This
the
live
guy,
video.
what's his name? Lil Rod at the end of the documentary.
Oh, that man.
The Little
Oof.
Rod stuff. I don't know how much of that. I just don't know, right? But
Okay.
trust me,
So,
if he would have paid Little Rod, none of that would have come out. If Little Rod would have walked with $1 million,
the Little Rod is the guy that spent, he said something to the extent
About
of
2
it was
years.
2 birthdays and 2 Christmases that he missed out in the world with his children or whatever, and he spent it with Puffy trying to make one of his latter
he was
albums.
basically
the Love
like,
album?
yeah, he was working. He made the Love album. He was the primary producer on it, but he was like an up and coming new producer who was going to be part of the new Hitmen, and so he wasn't really being paid.
Well, he was expecting to be paid at the tail end. And
Correct.
so it appears that the lowball offer after all of it was done was $29,000 for a whole 2 years.
And I'm gonna say this to all artists:
which is wild. Don't negotiate that shit on
Bro.
the tail end.
always just get shit in writing right off the top and get paid the whole way. All that.
But again, when
all
you're
that,
dealing with
we're gonna
somebody
get
like
famous.
a Diddy, look, you're dealing with somebody like a Diddy. Even one of the chicks said it from what was the reality show that he was on, right? Making
Yeah.
the Band. She was like, my lawyer said you're gonna have the fame, but not the fortune.
Right.
And she was like, it's Puff Daddy, like it's Bad Boy. We signing, and so she signed, and so this is people's thinking, right? Like it'll be on my resume, and I'll have whatever.
And so once I'm telling
And
y'all,
so then
don't
he
do
woke up one day with a sore booty.
it. Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. Don't get your money right off the rip. Like
What's
you should be
wild to
getting
me
paid.
is the consistent accounts of how many drug and rape scenarios there were when people didn't even realize that was the case. Like
Right.
Aubrey from Danny DeCane, she has been on his ass for the longest, and never once was there a conversation of she thought she was raped.
Right.
And then somebody else came to her and said they witnessed it, and she never knew. I'm trying to understand.
So, I mean, I'm like this because I hope I don't sound like I keep saying things like are speculative and stuff. I'm also a firm believer of where there's smoke, there's fire, right?
Man,
Like-
there's so much
like if
goddamn smoke.
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
ain't even all got to be true, right, at this point. But the
No,
smoke
but-
is so overwhelming.
But about the rape stuff, yeah. I mean, I totally believe it's kind of like the Bill Cosby scenario. If it was just 3 people, but it's 50, it's 100 in Puffy's case. So I totally believe that. And listen, I've heard from a few people who've been roofied, and what they tell me, it's horrible. Like people were like, I woke up on the side of the freeway a day later or 2 days later, and I have no idea what happened before that. Or like I knew one dude
it's
I worked
happened
with.
to me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we have a whole conversation. I was out downtown Atlanta, Crescent Avenue, with a girlfriend of mine who flew in from out of town, and we were having a good ass time. And we went out, and all of a sudden, I don't know, I wasn't paying attention to my drink, or somebody got me a drink. I don't know what happened. It all got blurry, and then in this middle of this club, I just started throwing up.
Whoa.
Which
That's
was
horrible.
It's awful. It's a bad visual, and it wasn't a good look. But how do you say
Retrospect?
that? In retrospect, it's not the word I was looking for, but that's exactly what I was
Well,
trying to say.
that's a great word.
In retrospect, that is the best thing that could have happened. Like get the poison out your system, right? And so
And
they thought I was
it brought
super
attention
drunk,
to you.
right? They thought I was super drunk, and they kicked us out. I wasn't drunk. That was probably my first drink.
Right.
But whatever happened, so my girlfriend also, we kind of stumbled home. We were within walking distance. Nobody followed us, luckily. So got home. She was fucked up for a month plus. Her equilibrium was off,
Yeah.
right? Like she was going through it. And I had a few bad days. after the fact, and I couldn't really remember. Again, I can only recount parts of it. I can't remember all of it.
Well, in that documentary, they kept mentioning that they were throwing out drug names when I thought I'm pretty cool. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you a square.
I never
It's
heard
okay
of
to
these
be
drugs
square.
before.
It's okay to be square.
I
Look,
had to pause. I'm scared.
I didn't know what the
GHB.
Yep, I had to Google it too. I was like, what the fuck is that?
It's gamma hydroxybutyrate.
And now I'm clear.
That's what it is.
Talking about I'm not a square. That's some nerd shit. It's gamma hydroxybutyrate.
It's gamma hydroxybutyrate. It's a date rape drug. Okay. It's a phenylamine.
Oh, so that was what was supposed to be in this baby
That was
oil.
in the baby oil.
Ooh.
So,
See,
look,
but see that's
I'm
some shit that he
so
should have
scared
been.
of-
If that was the case, he should have been convicted for that.
They said it was never proven.
Hold on, it's like
How you
put
not
it in the baby
prove it?
oil, does it
Dude,
become
I
porous?
didn't even. Does it come what?
Porous.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to Google
You
that.
have to
Listen,
take it,
bro, I
you
did
don't
not
want
want that shit in my
you don't want
algorithm
it on the register.
talking about, not that. I don't want to see what gets, after I type, does GHB get into your skin through baby oil? I don't know what ads I'm going to start getting after that.
Committing any
That's that
crimes
dirty
anytime
money.
soon?
That's that dirty money, man. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I put in, what's it called? A Google stealth search? What's the private Google search?
You just said it about 12
Incognito.
times.
Yeah, I went to an incognito.
Incognito, baby.
Hey, bro, they were one time they're just like, yeah, we was doing cocaine, such and such, and 2C and such. I was like, 2C? What is 2C? Do you know what 2C is? Yeah. It's 2C, the letter 2, the number 2, and C. 2 something, carbon is 2,
cocaine.
but it's basically synthetic cocaine. It's like MDMA, ketamine, and something else.
Prescription?
No, bro. It's a
man.
street drug that motherfuckers make. Like, it's basically meth and just cool meth.
I don't think we was that advanced down south. I don't know.
I mean,
Dude,
Diddy
this is a
was on
drug
some
ass
next
city
level
down
shit.
here.
And right
Not
now,
that-
and
It's
right
you,
now,
bro. Listen,
so-
it's us.
But
There's
Diddy,
a lot of drugs in this city that is just, I don't be doing stuff like if somebody brought some cocaine out, like I've tried cocaine before. I would
Wait
never,
a minute. Wait a minute.
Everybody's tried cocaine.
No. Raise your hand if you've not. Then him too. You're the only one. And I got a kid in the vicinity. Don't say that shit.
It was,
I mean, hold on now. It's a real world.
yeah,
We gotta learn.
yeah.
I will fight you to
But-
the death.
But listen,
We gonna learn.
I would
in
never
10,
do nothing
15
like
years.
that now. You know what I mean?
Everybody, let's go back to that statement. Everybody has done cocaine.
Everybody, it's like
Tried.
So it's to the
Just
point
like
now that it don't even
everybody's
surprise me
taking
no
it in
more.
there.
It don't even surprise me no more. It's like you just
Just like everyone's taking it in ass. I ain't get
Women.
it. No, I'm talking about everybody.
Nah.
I'm talking about everybody.
Nah,
See,
nah,
that's
not
how
true.
that's how I feel.
That's a whole different
That's
thing.
how I
That's
feel.
an entirely different.
Terrible.
That's
That's
a horrible analogy. That's
2 to 1 again.
that's apples and oranges.
Yeah.
That math ain't
That was
mathing.
straight treason.
I don't think we have a big enough sample size for this one. But remember our bar? Remember our bar that we used to go to? I went there for years.
Didn't know they
I was
were-
going there for years before I knew that it was very easy to get cocaine.
Cocaine Central.
So
I have a feeling I know where.
exactly, we were
See,
going.
that's why I never go there.
Yeah,
That's why you never go there?
I mean, I didn't know, but it felt a little sketchy.
Listen.
Okay, I'm a little bougie.
it was
in
going
some spaces.
down in there for all around me for years. And so I bring up the whole thing about these real hardcore drugs that people use. It's just not in our circle. We just don't do that.
We don't do that.
Yes.
And now, to continue on with this documentary,
Yeah.
I feel like we need a part 2 here, so we may have to wrap here because
Okay.
the next part that happened.
Wait,
No,
there's
no.
one thing I want to say about 50 Cent though.
Go for it.
As much, like I keep, again, calling this a hit piece and trolling, I also think 50 was very jealous of Puffy too, right? Because you think about it, 50 was an East Coast artist that signed with Aftermath on the West Coast, right? So now,
Were there ever conversations of him signing with Puffy, the bad boy?
I mean, he was just he was an East Coast artist that came out of the West. Because 50 came out of the West.
Yes, he did.
He had Dr. Dre
Eminem.
beats. Yeah, but I mean that he had a West Coast sound with East Coast raps. He was very pop rappy, but then Puffy was still just boom, boom, boom on the like social scene, the economic scene. and he was doing things that I think 50 wanted to do. So there is some jealousy there.
Look,
too.
like I said, opposite
And now look,
end of
50,
the same
50
coin.
may have caught him now with his
Opposite end of
TV
the
empire.
same coin, right? Because they both, Diddy did half of his stuff because he was jealous. Literally, stalking all of these females to become whatever,
Yeah.
his concubines or whatever. I don't know what they were, right? If you had a girl, hide your girl.
Biggie was talking about somebody else when he said, "Don't leave your girl around me, true
You
player
play
for real."
Ass Puff Daddy.
Right, but he was talking about Puff. Probably.
He was talking about, but that's why Ass Puff Daddy. Yeah. So anyway, so the documentary was really interesting because it highlighted a lot of what. Oh, the other piece was his claim to fame. His claim to fame was the fact that at that celebrity basketball game, 9 people died, and that's where he skyrocketed. That's wild to me, you know.
Well, and he got off.
He did.
Yeah, but that was early in his career. He was still with Andre
But after
Harrell.
you survive that, like what else? What are you worried about?
Right.
Right? What are you worried about? I'm untouchable. I think this is where it starts.
Right. Yeah, I agree, because you start to realize you can buy your way out of things. And look, dude's going to be out of jail pretty soon. Now, he's going to have a bunch of lawsuits, but, I mean, he may be able to buy his way out of all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I have no idea. He's probably going to end up, he's going to probably try to go, and it is sad, because, like, you saw when he got out, as the Boondocks predicted with R. Kelly, you know, he was like, people were cheering for him. People were
And there are those people that were very happy that he was convicted
there were people
on all of his
online
shit.
like,
they were losing their shit.
They was like, man, Diddy innocent. I was like, well, listen,
that's going a little far.
Innocence, and yeah, I was like, that was
because you still have victims, and you saw the proof with Cassie, right? Like you saw the proof. I was really expecting. I think I was expecting more along the lines of like the documentary showcasing more of the Cassie stuff and how
seemed like it did.
It did. It had a moment, but that's why I'm saying, okay, so we're gonna wrap this for now. I didn't know where this documentary was going, and this was wild to me because it took a complete left turn that I did not see coming. And usually I'm pretty smart.
Okay, you are. You actually said chronologize earlier.
Baby.
Yeah.
Trying to tell you. And so this next turn caught me out of left field. So we're going to talk about that next episode. So stay tuned for the Good Negroes as we proceed to give you what you need.
Well, listen, this is the number 2 show on Netflix. number 1. Stranger Things came out and was like number 1 for like 5 days, and then this just boom.
Damn.
So
sucks to be Stranger Things. I was interested in Stranger
Things.
Things.
People gonna be watching this for a while, and this is gonna be relevant for quite a bit of time, and we may hear more. Because the funny thing, and I don't know if it's AI, but the puffy pictures from jail with baby oil in the cells.
That's AI.
It's AI.
That's AI. Okay.
AI,
You can't trust nothing no more.
You know what? Yeah, you can't. Because, dude, if you could put baby oil in your cell, you might just slide out that motherfucker.
On that note, thanks for hanging out.
Thank you.